In 2018, we embarked on the journey of a lifetime, living and traveling full-time in our self-converted van. We're gonna go for it. Join us as we continue to explore the beauty around us, one adventure at a time. We are on our way to Moosehead Lake, and we took the long route. We have 27 more miles to go, and that's going to take us
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
So yeah, this way in it's 50 miles of washboard, potholes, broken up road. It's been tough.
It has been more of a journey than we anticipated for.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty.
It'll all be worth it if we see a moose.
It's like moose territory.
Oh, I see lots of yellow flies. I don't know if I like that.
Yellow flies stuck to the outside of the window. It's gonna be brutal out there.
We might be playing rock, paper, scissors to see who takes Brutal for a walk.
Oh, it's bad. The bugs are bad right now. Oh my gosh.
That's been narrow, Dave. I hope you don't have to back out of this.
Rubbing on both sides. Gonna put some scratches on us. Not too bad. Hopefully it's a main road. It made us take a shortcut. We would have kept going up that road.
If Google led us astray again.
It was Google, because we're not going to have to go this way to get out. So I remember the road when we left.
Yeah, there's the main road. Oh my gosh. We could have been on this main road.
But Google had other ideas.
Well,
It was only 7 miles, but we probably averaged 7 miles an hour.
okay, we got 12 miles to go.
All right.
And that's the wrong way.
So, much better for us.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great. Pretty bad washout across. Couple miles.
Okay.
You see there's a flag in the middle.
Did you guys cross it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we went bang.
Oh,
Go to the far right.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because this has already been like 40 miles of bad road, so we're ready to get to the other side.
Yeah. Where are you coming from?
Millinock?
Millinocket?
Yeah.
Millinocket. That's great.
When a local asks you where you're coming from and proceeds to laugh, you know the road has been rough. And we clearly did not heed his warning and stay to the right.
Oh, crap. I wonder what you hit.
I don't know. Didn't think it would be that deep.
Oh, I gotta check the oil pan. Alright, so we're going through that puddle crossing there.
The moral of the story is always get out and check your puddles.
Yes.
Because we didn't do that.
No, I should just got out and walked it. It wouldn't have hurt my feet to get a little wet. So.
And it was very deep.
And we hit a pretty big rock, and it feels like it's right about in the middle. I looked underneath, where it looks like there is some damage to the plastic that goes around the oil pan area. So there's a good chance the oil pan did get hit. I didn't see anything leaking from the pan, but it was hard to tell because there's so much water everywhere. But soon, we're only 3 miles away from camp. We'll put it up on our little leveler ramps, and I'll be able to climb underneath and get a closer look.
The temperature gauge is good. No dash lights are on.
I think we're gonna be okay. But it really shakes you up. It makes you think. Don't be lazy. Get out and walk it first.
Yeah.
Because I mean that was probably at least 2 feet deep.
Yeah, it was deep.
And
once I started going through it, I couldn't stop.
Yeah, and then we sped up a little bit, so we hit the rock harder. Ouch. All right, today we are in Maine, and this is Moosehead Lake at Cowan's Campground, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is free camping with numbered sites and restrooms, tables, all the good stuff. It took us 4.5 hours to drive 60 miles. But there is another way in, and stay tuned to the end of our videos where we do the segment on what you need to know if you want to come here, and we'll tell you all about the other way in. That is so much better than the way that we came in. What a beautiful campsite. We're among the birch trees here with Moosehead Lake in the background. And it's a beautiful evening. We've been driving so much the last 3 months, if you've been following our videos. And through Canada, we drove about 5,000 miles. So we're just happy to be at a location where we can stay a full week, not do any driving, and just have a good time and relax a little bit. And I think this is gonna be the location for that. I'm so glad we're here. Has to take a look underneath and find out what happened when we hit that rock. And it doesn't take too long to find out. That's where we hit it right there. That is the transmission pan. So it did, there's a little bit of metal showing, so all I need to do is cover that with a little bit of primer.
Where?
Right here.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's not gonna leak.
How thick is that? We almost went through
I am worried about the pan a little bit, but it's not, something's seeping down, but it's not coming out of the gasket here around the pan. Ooh, my finger's not on the spot right up here. It looks okay, so I think we're all right.
Gotta keep an eye on that.
We'll keep an eye on that. We dodged a bullet. It's nice to be able to find it though.
I'm gonna paint a band-aid over it.
Rather than have it be hitting something and never figuring out where it is until it's too late. So the oil pan is over here, and it's in perfectly good condition. It's looking kind of rusty underneath.
Three hours north of Portland, Maine, you will find miles of the most pristine, unspoiled wilderness areas. And chances are you will also find Maine's largest lake. Moosehead Lake is a deep, freshwater lake, 40 miles long, 10 miles wide, and 246 feet at the deepest point. It is said that there are 3 moose to every person in this region. These noisemakers are green frogs, and they average 2 to 4 inches, with the females being larger than the males, and they will eat anything they can fit in their mouth. Spiders, insects, snails, small snakes, and even other frogs.
It's a beautiful day out today with the winds blowing. Feels nice and cool. As you can see in the background, we've got our clam tent set up, which gives us a little bit of a bug break. And the bugs have not been that bad in the campground, but once you step out of the campground and you get into the woods, biting flies are bad, and so are the mosquitoes. And that is where I'm heading right now because it has rained the last 2 nights, and I'm thinking that this is a good time to go out and look for some edible mushrooms, which I've been craving for a long time now. So I'm not familiar with the area. This is going to be kind of a shot in the dark, but let's go see what we can find. All right, so my plan here is just to walk down the road because it's so thick once you leave, and it's just going to be hard to get through there. But maybe I can find some openings or just spot some mushrooms and then go into the thicker brush. And I do have bear spray on me, and I'm keeping an eye out for moose because this is moose country. All right, I'm already starting to see some mushrooms. None that I can recognize yet, but let's keep on going. All right, so I've noticed there's some bright yellow, and bright yellow could be a good thing. So I'm gonna take a little closer look and see if these are possibly chanterelles. Oh, here's one that's already been eaten by something. And chanterelles, they have ridges on the inside and not fins that you can't break away with your fingers real easily like regular fins. And these do appear to be ridges. Oh, that is a chanterelle. So these are fairly small. You want them to be at least over 1 inch. So this might be something, and you can see there's a few here. A place to come back to. And looks like these are getting ate up pretty quick by something. But this is a good start. And the chanterelles, they're curled down here at the edges, just like this. And they're white in the middle. You can give them a test. This one, I don't know how long it's been disturbed, but you can give them what they call it the string cheese test and just pull them apart at the stem, and they should peel like string cheese. Which I can't do with one hand. But anyway, I'm gonna take a look around. I think I'm on the right track. They have a little bit of a sweet smell to them, and that's a good indicator as well. Coming up on some more mushrooms, but these I'm not familiar with, so I'm definitely not gonna touch them or eat them. Of course, always make sure you do your own research. Don't take my word for it. If you're looking for chanterelles, though, there's, you know, obviously lots of books on them, but some places during the right season, you can find them at the grocery store. So that's one of the best places if you're trying to get a first look on how to identify them, is right at the grocery store. These guys here, looks like they've been here a while, starting to dry out. Looks like something maybe's been chewing on them. And I don't know anything about them. We're gonna keep on walking. I'm getting a little peek of the lake here, right next to a cedar tree. I love cedars. But there's a natural trail coming right down to the water, and I'm pretty sure it's made by wild animals, maybe moose or bear or both. But this is where they're coming down and get a drink, and it looks like it's well used. Looks like a good spot to locate a moose. Maybe not in the middle of the day, but there's been a beaver chewing on this big tree right here. And it doesn't look too fresh, but still that tells me that there is beaver in the area, so I would not get water from here. I thought the bugs were gonna be terrible, so I've got repellent on, plus I brought a head net with me because I thought as soon as I went in these woods I'd get full on attacked, but I think we must be in between bug hatches because it's really not all that bad. I just got to go up the road a little bit further. I feel like we're so close to being on top of a whole bunch of mushrooms. We just haven't got there yet. So most of this road here is just so thick on the outskirts. Can't really get in there to see if there's any mushrooms. So I think I'm just gonna go down a little bit and then turn around. I know there is moose in this area. One of the campers in the campground said that if you drive down here in the evenings, you have a really good chance of seeing a moose. And don't really want to tangle with one. But I'll go a little bit further and turn around and call it. I was just thinking that these look like chanterelles. They're a little bit old, not super big. But this is a lot of them. This will be the most I've ever found if these are chanterelles. I'm gonna have to look at one of these just to identify it. See if the string cheese test. Oh yeah, it definitely is white in the middle, and it did peel like string cheese. I just thought that the ridges would be a little further down on the stem than these, so oh, that does peel like that. Yeah, almost positive, but not completely, so I'm gonna have to pass on these ones. They're a little bit small, and the ridges, they do go down to the stem, and they don't, yeah, I mean, they're not breaking. They do look more like ridges than fins, so that's good, and they are white in the middle. I think these are chanterelles, but that's not good enough, and they're not big enough either. They do curl a little bit, which they should. Right there, you can see that the top's curling down, and they're not hollow. I mean, they fit all the categories. That's cool. That's been the most I've ever seen in one spot. I know that's, to anybody that's a mushroom hunter, this is not a giant big deal, but to me it is. Well, even though I'm not coming back with mushrooms to eat, I think it was pretty successful. I have never actually went out and found my own chanterelles and came back and cooked them yet. So I think it's a good idea for your first time that you identify them is, you know, take a close look at them, really get to know them, but don't eat them until you're absolutely sure what you've got. And in this particular case, that's what happened. Plus they were only about 1 inch tall or so, and that's pretty small. So I would just leave those ones alone, and hopefully they have a better season next time. But right now, it looks like some thunderstorm clouds are moving in. So I'm gonna try to make it back before I get drenched, if that's what's gonna happen. But really enjoyed this time out, just looking at the wild edibles. Got to eat some ripe red raspberries that were absolutely delicious, and had a great time. This is the kind of thing I like to do. And let's head back, check out these clouds.
We have been experiencing some amazing cloud watching days, followed by a brief afternoon rain. But today we were treated to one of the most beautiful sunsets we've ever seen. This is one of my favorite campgrounds in Maine. I mean, there's a lot. I haven't been to them all, but this is up there. And I want to show you my favorite spot. This is Moosehead Lake. They did a really good job on this campground, whereas they left day use areas where you can't camp. And I love it when they do that because everybody gets to enjoy the lake. But let me take you up here on this little point. This is my favorite spot. I like to come out here in the morning. Sometimes I come out here at night and try to catch the loons as they're singing. But look at this. Good boy. There's this little spot right in this tree. It was just a perfect sitting spot. It's just so relaxing. This point is really shallow, as you saw. You can go walk out, wade out and swim. The views are incredible. I just feel relaxed when I'm here. It's quite windy today. All right, Dave. There's dinner.
What's it called? What are you calling this?
It's called cheeseburger with no bread.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. Ah, that looks
with
good.
grilled onions.
That looks great.
We got to go into town and get some supplies. Tomorrow, maybe?
Yeah.
It should be all cut for you. Still good.
It's not that bad without bread. I mean, it'd be just a little bit better, but it's good.
We are running into town without hitting a rock this time, right?
Yeah, we're gonna stop and check to see if it's there and move it out of the way if we can.
But this is the problem when you have a very small fridge, is you can only stay so day off grid unless you want to eat just strictly processed food.
Yeah, which we don't.
So we're pretty low on supplies. We're gonna run into Greenville, which is 37 miles, and it's gonna take us over an hour to get there.
Yeah, and one thing we won't have to buy is fresh blueberries.
Oh, it's blueberry season.
And there's a big blueberry bush right here that's loaded full.
Ah. Dave has been finding lots of wild edibles. He's a happy boy.
Yeah, this is a great spot, and there's raspberries right up here. And they're ready to eat too. But this is the section that was flowing a lot harder. Right now, it's still 8 or 10 inches deep. And the problem is, the bottom's fine. It's nice solid rock. You don't sink down into it. But this hump that goes right out into the water is gonna make you high centered. And there's rocks, not big rocks, but little rocks on top of that. And none of that was visible. So that was a good reason why you always get out and walk through it, put your water shoes on, and find out what's there. Because we could have caused major damage to our transmission had we busted that pan open. But this side here looks safe over to the left. We walked in there, took a couple rocks out, but I think we still would hit.
Yeah.
Even right now.
Because it's really deep right through where the ruts are.
Yep, and it's nothing like it was. All right, so this is our path. We're gonna stay to the left, and the bottom's nice and hard over there. We shouldn't have any problems at all. That's what we should have did the first time.
Join us next week as we visit the small town of Greenville, explore the lake from the water, find a hidden island house, and see a mama moose with 2 amazing little babies.
If you would like to support our channel, please consider becoming a patron. Thank you for watching.